somewhere towards the end of mine of my career. And then what changed between that time frame to now, social media, Twitter, all those types of things that has invaded the personality and the personal times of individuals. I don't know if I could have, survived in this Twitter time where you don't have the privacy that you would want.
All right, man. I seen a funny ass comment on my Skip Bayless video, bro. It was like, bro, Swish, you start every single video with a huff and a big ass, all right, man, I didn't even want to do this video. But today, bro, I am 100% honest. I did not want to do this video. I never wanted to make a GOAT video touch on the topic because it is a everlasting topic that has way too many layers over it. And I'm gonna go into all that in this one specific video. Now, really quickly, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and follow my social media sites. That's where I'm at: Twitter, IG. Now I just made a new IG. I don't really use Snapchat like that, but I still get snaps. I'm sorry, I can't get back to everybody, but if you want to keep in touch with me, that's where I'm at. Now, I knew after LeBron won his championship, everybody knew it was going to stir up more GOAT convos, more. It's the most irritating thing in NBA sports debates. Like, it's so annoying because you can't prove who's right and who's wrong. I remember when the great late Kobe Bryant passed, right? R.I.P. Kobe. I made a video directly the day after, and I said these GOAT debates, critiquing another player's career and all this stuff to compare it to somebody else, those days are finally put to rest. Now looking back at that video, and I put it on private now because I don't really like the video right after Kobe passed. I was emotional and all that stuff. Now that I look back at that video, it just made no sense because it was me thinking logically, expecting the internet to follow, and that's not how the internet, that's not how media works. If Kobe Bryant, if his career taught me one thing, it's to appreciate a player while he's playing. I'm not even saying he has to pass. Let's not wait till somebody retires to finally give them their flowers. If you ask me, and you have to put a gun on my head to get an answer, bro, because I absolutely hate answering this question. It's very irritating. Like, it's really no right answer, bro. It's too many layers to it. But if you ask me, who had the greatest NBA career of all time? Mind you, I'm not debating nobody, so don't timestamp me talking about player A, player B, player C. I understand every logical point. But if you ask me, I'm going to say Michael Jordan. What's my perspective and what's my reasoning? I think Michael Jordan had the most effective career in NBA history, besides Bill Russell, and I'm talking about in the modern NBA history. He had the most effective career. And what do I mean by that? Once he hit his prime and got the ball rolling, he left absolutely no food on the table for anybody else. That's what I mean. I feel like LeBron really hit his prime really in the 2010s. A lot of people ate in the 2010s. KD, Steph Curry, Kawhi, Tim. A lot of people had success, and that's the difference. Now, before all you LeBron sexuals, oh my God, the world is ending. I'm about to go dislike this video. I'm going to comment and say you don't know sports. You're such an idiot. I can't stand you, Swish. I'm unsubbing. I unsub right now. Calm down. I'm about to debunk my own argument and show you why there's way too many layers to this damn answer. You can counter my argument because, like I said, this argument has way too many layers and way too much context that we put blindfolds to. You can counter this argument by saying LeBron had tougher, more diverse competition. And to me, that's just a fact. When LeBron entered the NBA in 2003, right? The NBA was played from inside out. What does that mean? Bigs ran the NBA. Shaq, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Jermaine O'Neal, Amari Stoudemire, Dirk Nowitzki. These players ran the NBA, and it was a pick and roll offense ran by the bigs. It was way more interior defenders. This is how it was. Like, all the shooters that we see nowadays, they were the icing and the bigs were the cake that basically had the entire foundation relying on them. Now, in the 2010s, a switch happened. The icing that was once the shooters, they basically became the cake. And the shooters that now became the cake, they didn't become the cake in the traditional form. Like, they didn't come in the form of Reggie Miller and Steve Kerr and John Paxson and, the shooters of the 90s. They came in the form of Kevin Durant, a 7-foot sniper that Michael Jordan never had to worry about. Michael Jordan never had to worry about countering his twos with threes. He never had that in his life. Pretty much the exact style that MJ struggled with early in his career. The small point guard with the bigs, Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer, that style that beat him. That was the style that he finished off beating. John Stockton and Karl Malone, the small point guard with the bigs. Gary Payton and Sean Kidd, the small point guard with the big. Like, his didn't change. LeBron's completely switched. All this is exactly why there's no definite answer. Yes, I can say Michael Jordan had the most effective career and dominated and left no food on the table, but if I compare it to LeBron's competition, to me, there's no competition. And on the flip side, I can say, okay, LeBron, you left too much food on the table. You should have 5 championships right now if you didn't choke against Dallas. Like, it's too many layers to it, and we have to add context. If you really, really wanted to, you could add Kobe in this conversation. And I'm not one to think, Kobe's the GOAT or anything like that. I don't think he is. But if you really wanted to, you could say Kobe had success against Michael Jordan's competition, not specifically Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan's competition to some degree, and LeBron's competition. You can really say that. He won 5 championships and kind of in different eras, so you can say that. Also, you could say Tim Duncan. Really, you could say he won in every single era. He won in the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. And if you really look at it, look at what he really beat. I don't understand how anybody can look at Tim Duncan's competition and kind of roll their eyes at it. Like, bro, I just don't get that. Like, bro, you can say in 03, yes, he beat the woeful Nets, and the Nets shouldn't have been there and all that stuff. But look at who he beat en route to getting to the Nets. He beat the Lakers, who just three-peated. Yes, you could say Kobe and Shaq was fighting. Shaq was overweight and fat and all that stuff. But that ain't his fault. That's not Tim Duncan's fault that they had their clashing and all that stuff. He beat them. He beat them. Kevin Garnett couldn't do that. Dirk Nowitzki couldn't do it. He did it. Then in 05, you can say he beat the Pistons. They had no Hall of Famers and all that. But the Pistons had just beat the Lakers the year prior. And they back-to-back got to the finals. So they were good to some extent. You don't get to the finals back-to-back and be no, they were a good team. Then he beat the Miami Heat. And he really should have beat them twice if you really look at it. Yes, Tim Duncan missed the layup around the rim and all that stuff, but if Greg Popovich actually had him in the game when he was dominating on the glass, when Chris Bosh got the rebound and all that stuff, he probably would have been a 6-time NBA champion with no finals defeats. Bro, come on, man. So I say all this to say, man, this GOAT debate to me is stupid, because unless they play in the exact same era against the exact same competition and played against each other, how the hell can we actually do this? It makes no sense, bro. And Tim Duncan, Kobe, you can really add other people in this conversation. Kareem, it's way too many people to narrow it down to just 2 that never even played each other and played in completely different eras. That's my take on it, bro. If you guys like this video, I damn near lost my breath and lost my voice talking and all this. If you like this video, I know this video gonna get some hate because people are crazy and they so nailed into these 2 players, but it is what it is, man. Follow my social media site, do all that great stuff, guys. Until next time, as always, stay tuned.